And a good Wednesday morning, Quad Cities. Welcome into Ask Andrew Live. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky doing the solo show today as our other meteorologists are gearing up for our extended coverage of this winter storm that is moving through. Don't forget, in addition to this live stream here at 9 o'clock, we have two more live streams coming up later this afternoon, and both of those will be with Chief Meteorologist James Zahara and Meteorologist Morgan Strackbine. You're going to find both of those streams right here on the WQAD 8 Plus app. One of those will be at 2:30 this afternoon, and then we'll have another one later this evening at 8 o'clock. And just like we did with the last storm system, Meteorologist James Zahara, Chief here, will be in with analysis of the ongoing winter storm. And then Meteorologist Morgan Strackbine will actually be out in the beast for the 2:30 and the 8 o'clock updates this afternoon and this evening to give you a live look at those road conditions. So we have a lot of coverage planned today, and it's not just on air. We've also got you covered on our bonus stream, which is that WQAD 8 Plus app. If you haven't downloaded it yet and you have a smart TV, especially if it's an Amazon Fire Stick or Fire TV, a Roku stick or Roku TV, or an Apple TV, all of those devices have our app right here available for download, and it is totally free. Check it out if you can. And that's how you access this right here, Ask Andrew Live. So before we get to your questions, and I know you have a few likely, we're going to talk about the winter storm that's ongoing right now, because I know that is what is on everyone's mind. Everyone still wants to know, are we still going to get that 4 to 6 inches worth of snow? Where's the heaviest band going to lay out? And what about that storm system for the upcoming weekend? What is that looking like? So lots and lots to talk about. So let's start with, what is going on today, and that is our weather impact alert. And this is definitely a weather impact alert day. The snow is quickly intensifying as we speak. And you're seeing that here as I'm giving you a live look at our bridge cameras. The I-74 bridge is quickly disappearing in the background as a heavy band of snow is working its way in. There's what the roads look like for Interstate 74. The left lane not looking too good, that less traveled lane. The right hand looks mainly wet, but I guarantee there's some slush under there that's building up to some icy conditions on the roadway. You notice the traffic too, the movement is a little bit slower than it usually is. So at least folks are slowing down. Iowa City has had quite a time this morning. That's where the heavy band has set up all morning long. They've got more than 4 inches of snow there. Maquoketa now has 4.5 inches of snow, and just northeast of Tipton on the border of, it looks like, Cedar and Clinton County, we've got a snowfall measurement of 6.5 inches so far. And now a heavy snow band is setting up shop over the immediate Quad Cities. Roads are quickly deteriorating. We've got multiple roadways being as reported as 100% snow covered. That's what the pink is. Whether you're in the Quad Cities, north, south, east, or west, the roads are getting quite nasty. So let's go to live Doppler radar and start tracking where the heaviest snow has been. Now, so far this morning, the band of heaviest snow has been setting up right here, and you could see that earlier. I'm going to put a pause on the loop here, take it back, and actually I'm going to take it back 2 hours, go back even further. So this was 7 o'clock this morning, and you notice that, between Tipton, Grand Mound, Maquoketa, Savannah, and Clinton, that very, very heavy snow band, that's what initially already dropped 2 inches worth of snow. That is now dissipated and moved to the east, but now, further closer to home here, further to the south, we have this even heavier band of snow that is going to start to set up shop from Columbus Junction, right north of Aledo, north of Preemption, into the immediate Quad Cities, Erie, Prophetstown, Sterling Rock Falls, and even including Clinton. Right in here, in the next hour, you're going to see your snowfall rate intensify quite substantially and likely quickly pick up 2, maybe even as much as 3 inches. And depending on how strong this band can get, maybe 4 inches in the next couple of hours. So let's put the loop back on this so you can see how this is all evolving, how it's all moving. Again, the heaviest band right now setting up shop over the Quad Cities. I'll highlight that for you again one more time. Right about here is where that heavy band is currently organizing itself. Meanwhile, further to the south here, as you get into Galesburg down the I-74 corridor, Knoxville, you've had some light snow this morning, also some light snow in Burlington too. But it sure appears, looking at this radar presentation, that the area that's going to be targeted for the 6-inch plus snowfall amounts is likely going to fall right within here, including an opportunity that, yes, parts of the metro Quad Cities will indeed start to pick up some of those heavier snowfall totals as we go through this morning and this afternoon. Let's widen this picture out so you can see even further what's going on. There is, of course, this initial snow band that's coming through right now. We still have more moisture, more energy to come back here into parts of downstate Missouri. That's got to work its way northward, so the snow machine will continue throughout the rest of today before it wraps up as we go into this evening. So, weather impact alert in place from now all the way till midnight tonight. The impact, of course, is going to be the snow, followed by blowing snow. I'm going to show you future track wind gusts coming up in just a second so we can start tracking some of that. And then the change over to, of course, the snow-covered roads. We're going to be dealing with that for quite a substantial period of time, too. This is quite an expansive storm system. Take a look at the winter weather advisories and the winter storm warnings that are currently in place. You've got winter weather advisories all the way from Wichita through nearly the entire state of Michigan, except the UP. And then even into Pennsylvania and New York, you've got winter weather advisories. Meanwhile, a winter storm warning is in place for the entire Quad Cities. They did add Joe Davis and Carroll County early this morning. So everyone is under that. And if you're under the winter storm warning, that's pretty much a guarantee that you're going to get at least 4 inches of snow in my mind here. So there's the details. That winter storm warning goes until 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. There's a winter weather advisory to the east of us for Lee County, Ogle County, and Stevenson County through Rockford, the I-39 corridor, and heading into Chicago. That also goes into early tomorrow morning, too. They're not expecting as much snow there compared to what we're expecting here. Let's go through future track. I'll show you how all of this is likely going to evolve as we continue through the morning and afternoon. Some good banding of that snow setting up here after the noon hour and into the early afternoon. Continuous snow expected for the rest of today. We get to this evening's commute. Things will begin to scatter a little bit in terms of the snow coverage, but the intensity will still be in the light to moderate range with an isolated higher burst of snow rates expected. And then we get to late this evening, 8, 9 o'clock. Looks like that system will be wrapping up, and outside of a snow shower, not expecting any additional accumulation. So you notice the timing on this. We've moved up the ending of the snow. So it looks like most of this will now end before midnight, which is some good news. We're going to check out some live cameras in just a second here, but I want to reiterate what's going to happen with the snowfall forecast. So you notice here with the model data, a couple of days ago, we had a lot of these lines up to the 8 and some of them trying to go up to 10 inches, but we've cut down on this a little bit now that the track has been honed in. So we still think the 4 to 6 inch range is very much on track with some isolated higher amounts. Our in-house future track model is agreeing with that as well, that most of us are going to get 4 to 6 inches. And as you saw earlier, we've already got 6 inches in western Clinton County. So there's going to be some of those areas that get those isolated higher amounts. There's a reminder of when your heaviest snow is expected. And indeed, yeah, right around noon into the early afternoon, we're going to start to see even more widespread, heavier bursts of snow. So let's take advantage of all of those live cameras that we've got across the region here. Brandy, our director in the booth, is going to kind of take us on a little bit of a tour here. So this is the camera right atop of our station, and we're on Park 16th Street, top of the hill, across from Prospect Park. And boy, does that southbound lane look quite icy. Looks very, very slick. The southbound lane, of course, the one on the right-hand side of your screen, that is not a fun hill to drive when you've got these kind of conditions, especially trying to get up the hill. That can tend to be quite a difficult quest to go through. So good example again of the roads and why we need to use a lot of caution here this morning, and a lot of reason why too you're seeing a lot of school closures. Don't want to have to deal with those nasty roads and getting the kids stuck on a bus on a road somewhere. Definitely not something you want to do there. We can check out some of our other live cameras here too. Let's go to Davenport. where you're also seeing those snow-covered roads. The visibility is being reduced, so be very, very cautious of that as you're driving around. Visibility lowering, so make sure we have those headlights on if you're driving around. Any other cameras we can check out while we're at it? Oh, there's our Bridgepoint camera, and it looks like we're almost losing the view of the bridge. And look at how slow that traffic is moving on the bridge itself there. Very, very slow. Can we keep this shot up for just a second? I'm going to log in to our controller here for the Bridgepoint camera because I'm kind of curious to see what that pavement looks like. So let's hold this for a second. I'm going to move this around for a moment. Of course, I'm going to also activate our lovely windshield wiper so you guys can see what's going on. But I'm going to zoom into the pavement itself here. And God bless our Bridgepoint camera. Love that we have this available to us. Yeah, that bridge does not look like it is a good time right now in terms of trying to drive on that. You can notice that folks are definitely slowing down on the I-74 bridge. Let's zoom this out. Oh, there's a plow going by too. So hats off to our DOT folks that are working, getting things plowed and ready to go. I'm going to zoom this a little bit more. We'll speed up the pan on this so we can get where I want to look. But I want to go look at the Moline side here, see what the rest of the roads look like. And yeah, snow covered all throughout, even all the way into the distance there. I'm going to pan this up a little bit. Oh, hello, EarthCam. There you see the visibility really being cut down throughout Moline too. So we'll pan this back to the I-74 bridge. No accidents, by the way, in the immediate Quad Cities according to the Iowa DOT traffic map, but would not be surprised if that changes, especially now that this heavier band of snow is setting up shop over the immediate Quad Cities as we speak right now. So looks like a rough going of it on the I-74 bridge. Traffic slowing down. Hopefully folks continuing to use a lot of caution. Let's come back closer to home here from our Bridgepoint camera to our patio camera. This is a better view of that 16th Street hill right in front of the station. And yeah, that southbound lane does not look good at all. Looking at the grass there, it looks like we've got a little bit less than an inch of accumulation here in the Moline Quad Cities. But again, I'm kind of going through some of my other reports here as I'm watching the radar screen behind me on another little tool we have. Still 4.5 inches in Maquoketa. 6.5 inches. I'm going to pause this for a second, see what I can see. That is in Cedar, Iowa. So right on the border of Cedar County and Clinton County, just northwest of Wheatland, right near Loudon. Looks like that measurement came right from Loudon itself. 6.5 inches of snow there already. And again, the heaviest band is setting up shop right over the Quad Cities. If we can go back to Bridgepoint really quickly, this is escalating quickly. The amount of snow that is falling. Look at the size of those flakes. Those are some pretty big flakes that are coming down. And this is that fluffy, light snow. It's not the wet, heavy snow. So this is the stuff that accumulates very efficiently and also causes a lot of problems on the roadway. So again, use some caution as you're traveling, especially as we go into the next few hours here. Roads are going to continue to go downhill as this snow band continues to intensify. I want to see if we can come back to Max 2 in just a second here, and I'll take you on a tour of some of our other hometown cameras to see what's going on as the snow is flying through our skies. There's a look at downtown Rock Falls, by the way, where the snow is also starting to pick up in intensity for you. Let's go a little further to the southwest of that with our Prophetstown camera. And there too, you can see some of those larger snowflakes coming down, starting now to cover closed areas and iced over areas of the Rock River. Meanwhile, it looks like those residential streets there next to the river are also becoming completely covered in snow too. We can also check out a couple of other cameras. We've got one out at the Whiteside County Airport. Very stiff breeze, it looks like, out of the northeast there. With that windsock there fully stretched out. Don't see too much snow on the ground, at least in the grassy surfaces yet, but that'll be changing as we begin to get that heavier snow band. We can also go to the east of Rock Falls. This is Dixon at the campus of Sauk Valley Community College. And yeah, they got the big snowflakes that are starting to fly there too, while the Rock River that's iced over is also becoming covered. The only camera we haven't checked in on yet is Clinton, but sometimes That camera likes to go to sleep. Oh, wouldn't you know it, it's awake. Okay, so this is our Clinton, Iowa camera. And look at the lack of visibility in the distance there. That is impressive. Likely the snow picking up in intensity for you as well. So I'm going to go back to the radar here really quickly, and then we'll talk a little bit about what may happen this upcoming weekend with this next round of snow. So we'll zoom back in, and I'll show you again where that heavy band is setting up shop. We'll actually zoom in a little bit closer, and we'll pull this to the northeast. So that band itself is starting right here, just south of Muscatine, north of Edgington. So right here along the Illinois-Iowa state line, very heavy band of snow. And yeah, that does stretch up right in through the heart of the Quad Cities. That's going to set up shop here for about another hour or so, putting down 2, perhaps maybe 3 inches of snow. That heavy band goes further northeast through LeClaire. It also goes through Morrison, Erie, Prophetstown, right south of Clinton. In fact, Clinton, I think you're going to see your snowfall rate pick up here very close, very shortly, along with DeWitt. That also gets into Morrison, too. Now, we just took you to Sterling Rock Falls, where they're seeing a little bit of an uptick in intensity of the snow. We'll zoom in a little bit further here. You've got Thompson, Milledgeville, that really bright band of blue there, indicating the heavier band of snow. That little artifact you're seeing on the radar, there's a building that blocks the radar beam close here to the Quad Cities. But I guarantee that there's some heavy snow starting to work its way in south of Mount Carroll and also getting into Savannah. But if you go further south, you know, looking here at Princeton, and getting into Putnam County, there's another little heavy band of snow that's working its way there too along Interstate 39. So it's not just our northern hometowns or the immediate Quad Cities that's seeing the heavier banding of snow. You've got another one right here south of Peru and east of Hennepin. That's also beginning to really pick up on intensity. Let's go further to the south and southwest. Check in on our friends in Galesburg and Knox County. Also our friends in Mercer County, Warren County, Henderson County. Those areas where we're starting to see a little bit of some heavier banding of snow work its way up from the southwest. You got a heavier band here north of town, north of Galesburg, another one south that'll eventually get into Knoxville, but some nice steady snow working its way in there. Let's go to the west. Checking in on Burlington, you've got a heavier band of snow starting to work its way in right now. That'll head to the north, eventually getting into Mediapolis, Little York, Aledo, and Wapello. You're going to see your snowfall rate pick up. And further to the southwest of that, radar has a little bit more trouble picking up snow, especially because we're shooting higher into the clouds when we're so far into the radar. But there is indeed snow out there. But I would say in the near term, again, right now, the heaviest band of snow is setting up shop right through here, and I would expect to see a quick inch or 2, maybe 3, as we go through the next hour or so. As we saw on our Bridgepoint camera, conditions are quickly going downhill. And let's see, Brandy, if we can check back in with Bridgepoint if we can, then we'll come back to Max. I'm going to throw the windshield wiper on again so we can actually see what's going on. But it appears that the cars are moving even more slowly than what we saw literally about just 5 to 10 minutes ago. So that snow continuing to pick up in intensity here in the metro, and that bridge is going to become very slick. Oh, yeah. Brandy was just saying way worse than what we saw at 8:30, for sure. We've almost lost sight of the entire bridge in the background there on the Bettendorf side. So, yeah, I mean, you look at how slow these cars are moving. Let's, I'm going to zoom back in here. Give me just a moment, and let's see how close we can get in. Now, we have to remember, because it's snowing so heavily, our visibility is kind of reduced a little bit in terms of what we can see. But, yeah, look at how slow the cars are going on the I-74 bridge, and rightfully so. That is not a fun stretch of road to be on because that pavement is so much colder compared to the surrounding pavement because there's no ground below it. You have nothing to insulate that pavement, nothing to keep it warm. It's fully exposed to these temperatures in the teens, and road salt is just not going to work in that situation. So a perfect example of that there. We'll keep an eye on that. Still, by the way, I'm looking at the Iowa DOT. There's still no reports of any accidents here on our interstates and our local roadways. I'll keep a watch on that. Let's go back to Max 2, and I want to talk a little bit about this system coming up for Saturday, because if you've been watching, you saw that, yes, indeed, we do have a weather impact alert in place for Saturday. What does that mean for Valentine's Day, Friday night? Well, if you have dinner plans early in the evening, I don't see too much going on here in the immediate Quad Cities. But if you have late night plans, maybe you're going to catch a movie later Friday night or something else, that's when we will start to see some snow move in, and it'll continue through much of the day on Saturday too. Let's get an early look at that system using Future Track. Let's stop the clock right there. Let's back up right about there. This is 3 o'clock Saturday, or excuse me, 3 o'clock Friday afternoon, where we've got light snow north of the Quad Cities. So this is an initial surge of moisture, some snow breaking out there. Let's continue the timeline and go to about 8 o'clock Friday evening. So if the storm continues on its current track, we're not going to see much here Friday evening. So if you've got dinner plans, don't cancel them. Keep them. I know I've got reservations and I'm not canceling them based on this forecast. But if you have plans on Saturday, that's where we're going to run into some issues. So let's back this up again, stop the clock right about 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Snow to the northwest of us. We've got rain to the south. We're kind of caught in between. And that's mainly going to be an all-snow event for us as we go into Saturday. But here we go into Saturday afternoon. And this is when the snow is likely going to start here for most of us and continue throughout the afternoon and into Saturday evening. Meanwhile, the farther south you go, the more opportunity there is for a rain-snow mix. But again, I think for most of us, this is another all-snow event. We go into Saturday night. The snow is continuing, likely going to be heavy at times, especially south of Interstate 80. And then it will come to an end by the time we get to daybreak Sunday. If you look at the early estimates for snowfall amounts, these numbers look very similar to the storm that is currently moving through right now. But the difference is going to be the type of snow that we get. So this is the snowfall expectation. Notice I don't have any numbers on this yet. And that's for a reason, because we're going to see this change. But if you want some early numbers, again, it looks very similar to the amount of snow that we're expecting today in that 4 to 6, 3 to 6 inch range. Why is Saturday's snow going to be different than the snow we have today? Look at the temperatures. Today we have temperatures in the 20s, light fluffy snow. By the time that system gets here on Saturday, we're close to freezing, if not slightly above, meaning Saturday's snow is going to be that wet, heavy, back-breaking snow. So my hope is the system on Saturday, we are not going to see nearly as much snow, because that's the stuff that's really a pain in the neck to try and get rid of. We don't want a lot of wet, heavy snow. That is not fun to deal with, but keep it here. Of course, we're going to keep tracking that as we get closer to the weekend. Our main focus right now is we want to get you through today's storm system. That's why we're focusing on that and just giving you a little taste or a little preview of what is to come for the upcoming weekend. One thing's for sure, you know, with all this snow on the ground, that's why temperatures are trending colder next week, where we've got daytime highs only in the teens and overnight lows below zero. So fresh snowpack, great refrigerant, if you will, to keep that air nice and chilled. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing as we go into next week. In fact, I just saw Chief Meteorologist James Harrow messaging me about the need possibly to put that weather impact alert in for late Friday. That's something we might have to consider here too. So stay tuned. We'll make that final call likely before the 11 o'clock, and then we'll talk about that then. Let's see what we have for comments here in the live stream this morning. I hope everyone is staying safe in this snow here today. Yeah, it's the Midwest. Yeah, we got snow. And this is our first big snow of the season. Better late than never, right? We're way behind on snow, and now we're going to get a chance to catch up a little bit. If you have a question or reminder, you can text it at 309-304-0888, 309-304-0888, and third time's the charm, 309-304-0888. If we do not get to it today, because we focused, I know, a lot on what's going on with this winter storm, no worries. I will hold on to those questions, and I will answer them either Monday or Wednesday of next week, including right here on Ask Andrew Live. So no sweat, no sweat. So we got a lot of people saying, you know, the road's not looking good. I agree, especially on that bridge, that I-74 bridge, not looking good at all. In fact, we continue to lose our vantage point of the bridge itself. You know, really can't hardly see anything other than some slow-moving cars, and doesn't appear to be much traffic out there either. Let's see who we've got here. Marcus from Knoxville. I know who that is. What causes the snow amounts for incoming storms to fluctuate so quickly? And is it difficult to predict? Also want to say that I appreciate having such a good weather team at Channel 8 keeping their communities safe. Well, thank you, Marcus. We appreciate people like you chiming in. What makes the snow system and snow amounts fluctuate? Well, the biggest thing is the track of the storm system. This track has been fairly consistent, I will say. That has been nice with this specific storm. The fact that we knew this track was going to remain to the south and that the heaviest snow was likely indeed going to be in parts of our region. And that's, you can see why. When you get this low pressure to track this far south, you're going to have the heaviest snow on the north end of that. Now, the other thing we talked about that kind of fluctuates the snowfall totals and the snowfall forecast, that was actually our topic this morning for our Ask Andrew question, is something that we call a snowfall ratio. And hat tip to meteorologist Morgan Strackbein, who put this all together. Fantastic explanation. So why is snow so complicated to forecast? It's because we have to look at so many different things, starting with one, the temperatures, and not just the temperature here at the ground. We have to look at the temperature all throughout the atmosphere, which we only get to see twice a day, by the way. We get temperatures every 5 minutes at the ground, but when it comes to temperatures in the atmosphere, we only get them twice a day. It's not enough. If we could get more of them, it sure would be a lot more helpful when it comes to forecasting snow. That's a rant for a later day. The other thing we have to look at are the winds. If it's extremely windy, that can actually break the snowflakes apart, and that can impact your snowfall predictions and your snowfall amounts. And then lastly, the amount of ice that's in the clouds. The more ice you have present in the upper levels of the atmosphere, the higher the snow ratio. And what is the snow ratio? Well, it is the amount of liquid water that you can change into snow. So I want to show you this example here. In this scenario, we have the same amount of liquid water. It's an inch all across the board, but we have different temperatures. We have 32 degrees. You can get roughly half a foot of snow, 6 inches. You drop that temperature by 2 degrees, you get even more snow because it's lighter, it's fluffier, it accumulates more easily. That's 10 inches of snow. Same amount of water, even colder temperature. What about 25? That's more than a foot of snow. That's about 16 inches worth of snow. Today's system, we have about half an inch of water equivalent to 6/10 of an inch. So not quite an inch, but you can see how that changes with the temperature based on how much snow we're going to get. So if you wonder why snowfall forecasts vary so much, why nobody usually has the same numbers most of the time, it's because of all of those different factors that I just discussed. It is a very, very complicated thing to forecast. And yes, I slam my head against a wall every time I have to forecast snow because it does present quite a challenge. But you know what? It's a welcome challenge and it makes my job super, super easy. Let's see what else we have question-wise. Sean is wondering how much snow for Geneseo. 4 to 6 looks like a good range to me. I don't think we're going to see those isolated 6-inch amounts that far south unless this band sinks a little bit farther to the south. You can kind of see behind me in my shoulder here, I've got a different radar product that I like to use, but you can see the heavy band sitting right over top of the Quad Cities and just to the north with that pink there. So the band is definitely setting up, and where that thing goes, if it sinks a little further south, will determine where those widespread 6+ inch amounts will likely be. Sebastian is wondering about Saturday's snow. This is going to be a very similar system in terms of amounts and impacts. The only difference, as I said earlier, is it is a wetter and a more heavier snow that's coming in for the weekend. Tyler's wondering about the weekend. It's wet and heavy. Yeah, much different snow than what we're getting right now. And it's not going to blow around as much either. Jake loves the hometown cameras. Thank you. We love them too. Great partnership we have with our friends there at Sauk Valley Weather. Diane saying it's snowing heavy in Maquoketa, about 4 inches since 11 o'clock last night. Thank you for the update there. From Brett, our friend in Maquoketa, 6 inches on the ground in Maquoketa right now. And likely that heavy snow is still falling. Let's go back to the radar and see. Yeah, look at that banding. Oh my goodness, that is impressive. Still very heavy band right over the Quad Cities. Brett from Maquoketa right here. You see that moderate to heavy snow is still falling, but this band sitting right over top of the metro, barely moving. That's going to pile up our snowfall amounts here really, really quickly. In fact, while I'm going through a couple more of these questions, Brandy, can we take a look at the either the Moline or the 16th Street, the patio camera? Kind of curious to see if our grass has been covered up yet. Look at that. Just about, 15, 20 minutes ago when we were looking at this, you could see all the grass. Now it looks like the grass is just about completely covered. So I think it's safe to say we've got about an inch of snow here right now in Moline, and that is likely the case in Davenport too. Look at 16th Street now. You've got both north and south lanes on the hill there completely covered with snow, and I don't see a car in sight. Looks like folks are enjoying a snow day. That road is usually very busy this time in the morning, so folks are definitely heeding the warning and staying in there. There's the I-74 bridge. Traffic still crawling across the bridge as the heavier snow is continuing to fall. Not looking like a fun time at all. If you got to cross that bridge, take it very slow. That pavement is chilled quite nicely overnight thanks to the temperatures in the teens, so be very, very careful. Tyler says they got heavy snow in Davenport, maybe about 2 to 3 inches so far. Can we queue up Davenport? There's Davenport, our Eagle Eye on top of the Call building. And yeah, the streets there just completely covered. I would say, yeah, you at least looks like you have an inch. There's a brave soul on a bicycle. You won't catch me driving a bicycle in that kind of snow. My goodness. Yeah, looks like about an inch so far. That's downtown Davenport, by the way. Let's see what else we have this morning. Yeah, Stephanie, the bridge looks terrible. You won't catch me going across the I-74 bridge. I loaded up on gas a couple of days ago. I have no reason to cross that bridge in the near term right now. Carrie, 36 days until spring. Hallelujah. I'll give you an amen to that. We're almost there. Stephanie saying, yeah, please drive safe and slow down. Don't want anyone losing their lives today or getting seriously injured. I agree. The miraculous thing is, you know, despite how bad the roads look right now, there's no accidents being reported, at least on my Iowa DOT map. And they are very, very thorough when it comes to reporting accidents and things, especially on the major roadways. You got a couple of accidents heading into Iowa City, but nothing being reported in terms of accidents right here close to home. Oh, 16th and Avenue of the City's a little minor accident there. Was that on one of our cameras or did you just see a report? Oh, I saw it coming in. Okay. Yeah, so there's some slick roads out there. It was Brandy, our director, I was talking to. So just got to take it slow. The I-74 bridge, yeah, it just looks absolutely nasty. Definitely don't want to be crossing that if you can avoid it at all. If you do, again, just take it slow. You should be able to reach your destination okay as long as you're taking it slow and using a lot of common sense and a lot of caution. That is it. We have hit the 9:30 hour, the bottom of the hour here, so I want to thank you for joining me. I want to give you one last reminder of our continuing coverage that will be ongoing throughout the day today because it doesn't end just here. Don't forget we have GMQC at 11 coming up. Drew will be out, our reporter, in the Beast to take a look at road conditions for the 11 o'clock newscast, so come and join us then. We're also going to have continuing coverage into the afternoon and beyond what you're going to see on News 8 this evening for those newscasts. So Chief Meteorologist James Zahara will be tagging and teaming up with meteorologist Morgan Strackbein for more coverage at 2:30 this afternoon right here on the WQAD 8+ app. Of course, in addition to News 8, you've got The Current at 4 with Shelby. You'll also have News 8 at 5, News 8 at 6. And then to continue our coverage into this evening, Chief Meteorologist James Zahara and Morgan Strackbein will be back again at 8 o'clock on the 8+ app. And both of those will include coverage from the Beast. Morgan's going to be in the Beast this evening, providing us a live look at those road conditions. Also tomorrow morning for Good Morning Quad Cities on Thursday, the Beast will be out and about beginning at 4:30. We will have live coverage of those road conditions. Hopefully things are cleared out. You know, with snow ending around 9 this evening, that should give crews enough time to get it cleared out. But we'll be able to verify that live tomorrow morning. So join us then if you can. There's one last look at the 16th Street Hill. A couple of brave souls getting up that hill. Looks quite slick. So use some caution if you need to travel this afternoon into this evening. And of course, stick with us here, the Storm Track 8 Weather Impact Team. We've got you covered all throughout our big first winter storm with snow finally coming back to the Quad Cities. Finally, yes. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Stay safe, Quad Cities.
Continue with us and watch free now on the 8+ app everywhere you stream.